Crustle from Destined Rivals has one of the most annoying abilities in the game. One that we have seen time and time again, variations of it time and time again. Crustle is the new version of that walling Pokemon that can't get hit by Pokemon EX. And in recent weeks, it started to gain a bit of momentum when played with reigning world champion at that, Iron Thorns EX. So today we're going to be looking at the latest annoying wall deck, Crustle with Iron Thorns EX. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about this annoying wall deck in Crustle and Iron Thorns EX. Let's start things off with Crustle. It is a stage 1 grass Pokemon with 150 HP, and it has the ability Mysterious Rock In, where you get to prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. This is absolutely amazing because so much of the meta features EX Pokemon attacking, and Crustle can just wall them all off. The problem is its attack is a little, it's called Superb Scissors, and in a certain way it is, but in another way it isn't. For a grass and 2 colorless energy, you do 120 damage, and this attack isn't affected by any effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. You will shred through other walling abilities, so something like a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon cannot wall off this Crustle, despite the fact that it can wall off Pokemon that have abilities. You shred right through that. But for a grass and 2 colorless, it is a lot of energy to get into play. Thankfully, there are a number of ways to cover this cost, and some of those include multiple copies of Crispin, which allow you to grab 2 energy of different types from your deck, put one into your hand, and the other one you can attach to one of your Pokemon in play. We also have a copy of Turbo Energize, allowing us to attach an energy to our active Pokemon. Well, we attach an energy to our active Pokemon, and then for 1 energy, we can search our deck for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to our bench Pokemon in any way that we like. So that can help cover the cost. And then on top of that, we also have Iron Thorns, which is a bit of a walling Pokemon in and of itself. It has the initialization ability where any Pokemon with rule box does not have abilities, in the sense that it shuts them off. So any Pokemon that has a rule box that also has abilities do not work when Iron Thorns is in the active. So you can slow them down in the early game, have your Dwebbles and Crustles in the bench, and then Volt Cyclone for 100 and does 140 damage for a lightning and 2 colorless, and you get to move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So ideally, you're starting with the Iron Thorns, you'll build up the Iron Thorns, and then move energy over to the Crustle as needed. And then later on, you can use the Future Booster Energy Capsule to retreat the Iron Thorns to the bench, and then ultimately use a penny to get the Iron Thorns out of play. And in matchups where all you need is the Crustle to win, then you've just got the Crustle in there to win. For trainer cards, we've got 2 copies of Luxurious Cape, which give your Pokemon plus 100 HP. However, if they get knocked out by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, damage from an attack, then they take 1 more prize. One of the cool things about this is, yeah, dropping 2 prizes sucks, but one of your opponent's best ways to get around the Crustle walling is Monkey Dory. Monkey Dory's everywhere, and it can move damage to your Crustle, but Luxurious Cape boosts the HP by 100. They're going to need more turns to move that damage over, and then because Luxurious Cape only drops the extra prize if it's by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, and Monkey Dory is an ability moving damage, it does not trigger the extra prize. So they're putting in all this effort to Monkey Dory damage over, and the Luxurious Cape just means that you get plus 100 HP and you still only drop 1 prize in that particular scenario. But in other cases, like having a 250 HP Crustle is still busted. 2 copies of Future Booster Energy Capsule, where you add free retreat to your future Pokemon, and you also do 20 additional damage as well. Not sure off the top of my head what use cases are for plus 20, like what breakpoints that's good for. Most of the time, you're going to use this just for its retreat. We don't really have a draw engine in this deck, so we will be relying on Pokegear 3.0 to grab us cards from the deck. This lets us look at the top 7 cards of our deck and grab a supporter we find there and put it into our hand. This is a rare Poke Vital A sighting, where as our A spec of choice, where we just get to straight up heal 150 damage from one of our Pokemon. However, we cannot recover this this card from the deck. So any sort of item recovery, specifically not going to work for Poke Vital A, one shot of 150, which is probably still good enough. We've got 2 copies of Penny to put one of our basic Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand. This is going to work to get Iron Thorns out of play. This will work to get Dwebble out of play. It will not work to get Crustle out of play. So you'll see at one point in this video, I was kind of waiting for a certain point to use Penny on Crustle, and that's absolutely a mistake. Don't do that. We've got 2 copies of Nest Ball to get our basic Pokemon down, and the reason we only have 2 copies of Nest Ball is that we are also relying on Buddy Buddy Puffin to get our Dwebbles down, where you get to search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto our bench. And then we also have Techno Radar, where we discard a card and we can get 2 future Pokemon in play if need be. Most of the time, I feel like you don't need 2 Iron Thorns. It's usually just 1, but depending on the matchup, you may need 2, and you might just use it to get 1 Iron Thorns, and that's fine as well. We also have 4 copies of Boss's Orders, tons of gusting in this deck, letting you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot, and this can be great to trap certain Pokemon in the active, although you don't necessarily have a way of like forcing them to not retreat, but you will be able to slow down your opponent's game plan or potentially gust something back in. This deck is not doing a lot of damage, so if they try and hide a damaged Pokemon on the bench, you can gust them back in with Boss's Orders. I personally would like to see a counter catcher in here. If you find that you can find room for a counter catcher in here, awesome. 4 copies of Iono for hand disruption. Both players shuffle their hands, put it to the bottom of their deck, and then draw equal to the number of prize cards you have remaining. Not only is this a great way of just refreshing your hand, but also disrupts your opponent as well, especially if they have fewer prizes than you. They'll end up with fewer cards than you. 4 copies of Arven allows us to grab an item and a tool card from our deck and put it into our hand. Tons of great combinations of cards to grab here. We also have a copy of Practice Studio, giving our stage 1 Pokemon 10 more damage that will do to the opponent's active Pokemon. So we are now bumping up the Crustle from 120 to 130. Not sure off the top of my head which particular breakpoints, but especially if you're hitting for weakness, going from 130 to 260 could be the difference maker. 1 copy of Turbo Energize. We've talked about this one already. 1 copy of Super Rod to get 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from our deck or from our discard pile and put it back into our deck. A little bit of recovery there. Colress's Tenacity is a really cool card, allowing us to grab a Stadium and an Energy card from our deck and put them into our hand. And in particular, this is great because it just says Energy. It doesn't specify basic energy. You can grab special energy as well. And we've got 2 different types of special energy, including 1 copy of Jet Energy, allowing us to launch a bench Pokemon into the active if we attach it to that Pokemon. So there are scenarios Iron Thorns might get stuck in the active and you're ready to start attacking with Crustle. Attach Jet Energy to the Crustle, launch the Crustle into the active. But most of the time we're going to be using it for Mist Energy, where this lets us prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to the Pokemon card this is attached to. In particular, Dragapult's Phantom Dive is going to get snuffed by the Mist Energy, and we can grab that really easily with Colress's Tenacity. In the early game, Crispin is absolutely vital, whether you're starting the Dwebble or the Iron Thorns, because this lets you search your deck for 2 basic energy cards. We talked about this one. But yeah, in the early game, you're going to want to use Crispin to get yourself powered up quickly. And then last but not least, we've got a copy of Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards, grab a Pokemon of your choice from the deck. Last but not least, energy. Besides the 1 Jet Energy and the 4 Mist Energy, we have 4 copies of Lightning Energy and 4 copies of Grass Energy. General game plan, I mean, there's only 2 Pokemon that you can start here. I generally like to start Iron Thorns, and I think this deck, if possible, you kind of want to go first. Ideally, turn 1, you're going to get an energy attached to Iron Thorns. Turn 2, you will get, ideally, you'll want to get Crispin, and then you can start attacking with Iron Thorns while also powering up your Crustle on the bench. But you're going to be moving between the 2, but most of the time, Iron Thorns to start, slow down your opponent, and give you enough time to set up your wall with Crustle. There are some matches that feel really good and some matchups that feel absolutely miserable. We discovered very quickly that this deck is basically, it's impossible to beat Typhlosion with this particular archetype. So there are archetypes that it will wall very well and some archetypes that it will not wall at all. But you are very much banking on the popularity of EX decks and decks with EX cards and abilities and being able to slow them down or just stop their attacks entirely. All right, let's get to these matches. We would be like, the meta was not, it was very different from the speaking of Zoroark, here we go. The online meta was so different from the paper meta because getting cards in PTCGO was absolutely horrible. And because of that, the only decks most people were playing were just like weird control decks, single prize decks, and it wasn't necessarily indicative of how people play the game online because it was way harder to just build a meta deck back than it is now. And on Pokemon TCG Live, I find that the biggest factor in dictating what the meta is oh man, we brick on that. That kind of sucks, actually. Let's go, and I guess we'll just attach a bit. Let's go Arven. And do we want to start to build up the Crustles? I think let's go and build one of these up. Turbo Energize. I kind of want an Iron Thorns and because yeah, we can stop the EX. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So we'll get 2 Dwebbles down. And I think we go attach the Lightning Energy and the TM. And let's Turbo Energize here. And we'll go like this. And I think we just throw 2 on the Dwebble here. Yep. Okay, I like this. Then we Crustle, and then we lock them out. Yeah, Pokemon TCG Live is largely predicated on what decks are free, and those are the most popular decks. And then followed by, like, what are the easiest decks to build? I do find a lot of people playing kind of like in the PTCGO days, where they would play, like, weird control decks or single prize decks. The decks that can be built with as few credits as possible because they're just cheap to build, even if they are not necessarily the most meta relevant. Something like a Badu Frostlass. Oh yeah, also like the influence of, I think the influence of content creators definitely impacts here as well, where like For the Win TCG will put out a video, or Lil Dark Fury will put out a video, and then all of a sudden everybody's playing that deck. Let's go and retreat into the Crustle, and they're not going to be able to hit us. So let's go and we'll just hit for, oh, we're hitting for 240 damage. Woo! Now, where this is going to get weird is if they gust up this Dwebble, then we have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, I forgot. We're totally hitting this for weakness. So they do have their ability back, though. Had we left, they're not hitting us, though. At least not the Crustle. I wonder if we should have just stuck with the Iron Thorns. But they also, if we kept with the Iron Thorns, we wouldn't be able to attack for 240 on that turn. So let's see where this goes. They can still very much snipe this out. 10 all damage Pokemon EX. Where we're going to run into trouble, actually, if they get the Darmanitan set up, they can blast this. So we kind of have to target down what is the, not Darmanitan, what is the evolution for that? What's that Pokemon called? It starts with a D. Darumaka, that's it. Have to target down the Darumakas. Trust Your Pilot? Yeah. Shoutouts to Trust Your Pilot. The OG PTCG Live content creator. Yeah, I remember when, a couple of people were early adopters and they switched their accounts and then realized, oh man, this game's terrible in its current state. And he embraced it. To his credit, he embraced it and made the most of a tough situation. So kudos to them. Yeah, I feel like in this next turn, we target down the Darumaka, because this is the most dangerous thing on the board right now. They get their reversal energy, and we're cooked. So let's save the boss for that. Like, we can hit these at any other time, but this... And then this is not going to attack at all. I mean, they'll probably at some point gust up the Iron Thorns. So, let's see. Yeah, see, they're setting up for it already. And this is at only 80, so... Yes! Crustle, let's go! And I don't think we need to Artisan right now. 2 Crustles feels adequate. Let's go and gust up this Darumaka. We'll hit it for 120 shred. And this Crustle could be making... Oh, yeah. Let's go and... extra 10 damage? Is that going to 130, 260? It's still not one-shotting a Zoroark here. So, really want to pocket this boss's orders for that other Darumaka. I'm actually not sure off the top of my head how many copies of boss we have in the deck. So, yeah, let's save it for that. Because I think that's the only serious threat to our offense at this point. Maybe we can Colress Tenacity and... build up? Do we build up the Crustle or do we build up the Iron Thorns? I am concerned that if they set up a boss KO on the Iron Thorns... Oh, the Monkey Dory. Okay. That's kind of annoying. But that's still not going to... That's going to very slowly chip away at us, but it's not going to take us out. So, especially if they're going to put the energy on this. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, they can't. Switch. They're still not hitting us, so... Do they have the Gust? They're going to blast the Thorns right now? Do they not know? What's going on? They will hit the Thorns really bad. Oh, here we go. Inspirations to make content on YouTube. Not watch this video so far. Keep at it, man. Oh, here it comes. Yeah, hit the Thorns. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. They think they're sitting pretty here because at that point it's just like, oh, we just have to get this set up and then blast these 2 Crustles and then it's game over. And look, we're not out of the woods yet. Like, they still have time to sort this out. Is there a counter catcher in it? Do we want to set up another? No, I think we're going to gust up the Darumaka here. And yeah, we can hold off on the practice studio and the Crustle. Yeah, we'll just swing for 120. And just try to not give them that Pokemon. Pokevital A. So I would like to find some energy, right? Oh, I should have played Colress. We should start building this up. And there's the Fez, so they've bench locked themselves now. That's really good. They could do some Monkey Dory stuff to try and chip away at this, and that's valid. And at that point, maybe we throw on the Luxurious Cape. Oh no, they're not gonna... They're trying to set up their next attacker. Okay. Yeah, do we throw on the Luxurious Cape at this point? Does this deck have draw support? It has Pokegear, that's it. Yeah, I should have played... Oh no, we had to play Boss last turn, so we couldn't play Colress Tenacity. Yeah, we're just going to wall off here. So let's start to build up this Crustle. Super Rod. There's an energy. Let's go and we'll grab a grass. And I guess we'll grab a practice studio. Not really... I kind of want... Yeah, let's go and play the practice studio now to give them no opportunity to get that Darumaka back in play. Or at least make it worse. I'm not playing it necessarily for the damage. I'm playing to shut it down. And they just scoop. GG. So cutting them off at the knees there, where the Zoroark was not going to be able to hit the Crustle. And their only real recourse at that point was the Darumaka, and fortunately we had multiple copies of boss so that we could target those down. And then cutting off the Artisan, even though we were kind of wasting the damage potential of the studio, we were cutting off their ability to easily get another Darumaka in play, so that just made it very difficult for them, and they just decided to scoop. GG's. I think kind of hot take here, I don't necessarily think that credit farming in this game was inherently bad. Okay, do we want the Dwebble down? I think we can afford to play the Dwebble right now, I think. Okay. Once you have full cards, you have full cards. Is it really that bad? Hold on. Yeah, I'm running the top 10 build right now and it feels good. Which top 10 build? Hold on, I'm lost in this conversation. Oh, the Chops and Charizard build. Once you have the full cards, what do you? I'm a little lost. Hold on. Once you have full cards, you have full cards. I mean, they're always. I'll wait for you to clarify before I interject where I don't really know what's going on. Okay, let's go and evolve up the Crustle. Like, once you have the cards unlocked, you can't have more. Like, once you have the maximum number of a type, you can't have more, correct? Actually gonna hold... I don't want to give them 6 new cards. No, we're gonna Iono here. Credit farming really bad. No, so the credit farm, I don't know where you're coming from exactly. Hold on. So, what I mean is that the way that we used to get credits, like, you just spam buying the Ice Rider deck or the Shadow Rider deck. That was the Shadow Rider deck over and over and over again, so that you had the credits that you needed. And you could do that, and like, it's not about, because the thing about cards is, like, you're never gonna have all the cards. They always release new cards. It's hundreds of cards every couple of weeks. And you're always going to need more credits to buy that stuff. Uh-oh. Okay. I think Crispin's fine. But, like, we need Crispin here. Let's go Crispin. We'll go Lightning Grass. And let's go and put the Grass in our hand. And we'll put the Lightning on the Iron Thorns. You always need new cards. On top of that, enough time to get the cards. Okay, and we're going to put the Mist Energy onto the Iron Thorns, which actually slows us down some. I don't want them to item. No, we have to put the Mist Energy on the Crustle. And then we Volt Cyclone and move a Grass Energy over. So, Arbiter, thank you so much for the sub. Much appreciated. So, yeah, what I'm trying to get at, like, there was a way that you could just reliably buy the decks that got you the most credits, and they stopped that. They now put a hard cap on the number of times you can buy that deck, which limits the amount of credits you can get, which then limits how many cards you can unlock. And I think that I don't necessarily hate that they capped that, but I do hate that there's no better way of getting the cards. So before, you used to have a system that, as convoluted as it is, I hated that. I hated having to explain to people, like, oh, you have to use these credits to buy the Shadow Rider deck that you don't need over and over and over again as your way of actually getting the credits you want to play. No, you had to... Yeah, it was just profoundly annoying that they... Like, I don't mind that we had that. Yeah, they took that out, but they didn't replace it with anything. All they did was just make it harder to get cards without giving us a way to get cards in a way that made sense. Like, even more so than, like, making it affordable. Like, they didn't give us a way that made sense to get more credits. Oh no, why'd you play the Latias? Okay, if they're gonna Phantom Dive here, do we just go straight? Like, I think we try and get the first hit on the Dragapult. And do we Gust up? Ah, okay, I think we've got the play. We Gust up the Dragapult, we hit it with the Crustle, and then we put the Mist Energy on the Iron Thorns, and then we're Gucci. Okay, so let's go and Capsule. We'll go and... Oh, hold on. I can't... If we Crispin here... No, we can't Crispin and Boss at the same time. That's annoying. They're going to get some damage on this... I think it's fine if they get a bit of damage on the Dragapult. Yeah, we're going to go with the Crispin here. And we can still... Oh, I should have put the lightning... Anyway, we missed energy up. And now they have to Gust, specifically Gust the Iron Thorns if they want to do anything. Okay. I think I'm fine with this. Black Bolt and White Flare cards in a few days? Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah, you're trying to unlock Sylveon still. Yeah, in the last couple of months, that is harder to do because they limited the amount of ways that we could get decks. Okay, so they're going to Phantom Dive, and it's going to do no damage. Yeah, that Dragapult is doing nothing right now. So, we could specifically target down the Dracloak, which is technically swinging for 7. They just scoop. GG's. Yeah, opponent's not ready. And look, this is annoying, but hey, this is a deck. Crustle is in the game. And yeah, our opponent realizing that this was going to be a tough road for Dragapult specifically. They don't necessarily have a backup attacker. Dracloak, at best, is doing 70 damage, and it's gonna... I don't even know if it... Does it two-shot the Crustle? Hold on. Let's just go and double-check Crussle's HP here. 100... It doesn't. It's 3 shots. He would take 3 shots, and we would knock out the Dracloak in 1 hit with Superb Scissors. And yeah, maybe they could Gust KO the Iron Thorns at some point in this matchup, but then we would just go all in on the Crustle, and they would be stuck. And depending on... We never got to see the full extent of their Dragapult build, but I'm going to guess that they did not have a good option for the Crustle specifically. So we end up taking the win, and the shoutouts to the Mist Energy as well for stopping the Phantom Dive damage. GG's. Blaziken Dragapult. Okay. Okay. Let's go Iron Thorns. And I'm going to wait. The Dwebble should be able to do stuff here. Or the Crustle, right? If your attackers are Blaziken and Dragapult, Crustle... What? Why did you brick on the Buddy Pop? Oh, okay, there it is. There it is. The Monkey Dory is annoying. The Monkey Dory actually is annoying, and that could turn the tide of this whole thing. Let's see if we can hit a Crispin off the Pokegear, at which point we will then Crispin. Rare Candy. Hate that for us. Do we just Iono then? Why wait to put the Dwebble in play? I didn't want them to Gust it up right away. Will I be proven to have made a mistake? Maybe. Pokegear, do we get a Crispin here? Yes. Now, Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, this is good. This is good. So we're gonna go. We only have one grass energy. Okay, we only need one grass energy, but let's go and get the. We'll put the lightning in our hand, right? The grass is gonna go on the Iron Thorns. We're gonna attach the mist energy, and then we're gonna move. Yeah. And then we attach the mist energy. And we'll put the Dwebble down. And we can Volt Cyclone the mist energy onto the Dwebble so they can't Dragapult stuff. Combuskin. Now, look, can this be a viable attacker here? No, that's not a good... Okay, so this one, we're going to go put the lightning energy on the Iron Thorns, and then we will move it. We'll move the grass energy over to the Dwebble. Do they have the... Oh, they can rare candy up the... I think they're going to rare candy up the Blaziken. Does everyone use the Dragapult decks? Yeah, I mean, Dragapult's really good. It was free for a while. Dragapult's one of the best decks in the game, so I don't blame people for wanting to play the best stuff. They are playing an off-meta version of it, though, so there is that. Okay, they'll go get one energy. They only have one card. Okay, there it is. So they're doing 70 to us. We do get the Crustle. That's good. Okay. We are going to need... Let's go get Crustle up. And we are going to... Do we get a second... Okay, let's go and... I think we attach the lightning. And do we Arven here? Do we try and build something else? No, I don't think so. I think we just zap for 140. And we move the grass energy over. And if we fall behind on prizes, we'll try and go after this Monkey Dory. Feels like the biggest threat. Now, is there Counter Catcher in... Oh, we have 4 boss in the deck. I don't know if we have Counter Catcher, though. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. And I don't happen to have the deck list on me. So we're just going to roll with it right now. Yeah, they're gonna take out the Iron Thorns. They won't damage the Crustle at all, though, which is good. And they're going to need to find a... They can't attach a Dark Energy right now, so... Okay, interesting. Probably just... Let's see, do they have an answer for the Crustle? Double Monkey. That's a decent answer. They will take 2. Can we Counter Catcher up? Now, double Mist Energy on the one Crustle feels bad. And there's the capsule. Okay. Let's go in Arven here. And do we have a Counter Catcher? No, we do not. But we do have the Cape. And the Cape does make it more difficult for them to deal with. Or make us more difficult to deal with. And do we want... I think we just grab a Pokegear to try and draw out of this later. I think in the immediate term, we are fine. Let's Mist Energy. And let's Luxurious Cape and make it take a long time for them. Also, with the Luxurious Cape, I think it's... This Pokemon gets knocked out by damage from an attack. So if they knock us out with Monkey Dory, it's not going to impact us. We're not going to drop an extra prize. They have to do damage to us specifically. So now we wall. And they're going to move some damage here. Ideally, we could potentially start to set up a second Dwebble. But we'll see. Oh, okay. What are they going in with? They're going to try and attack with the combo skin? All right. If they hit 2 heads, this is going to suck really bad. But we are forcing them to play really weird. No, they're just protecting the Dragapult. All right. There's the Dwebble. Like a Dwebble. And let's see what we can hit off the Pokegear here. Wait, we only had 1 Grass Energy, right? Off the Crispin? Let's go in Iono. Let's go in Iono. And I know that Super Rod... I think it's fine if we let those go. Let's go in Iono here and just get ourselves some fresh cards. Leave them with 4. And yeah, we can attach a Lightning here to the Dwebble. That's fine. Colorless Tenacity could be good for later. Now, if they do Phantom Dive, they are going to soften this up, like, pretty bad. I don't like that. We don't have the Mist Energy here, and we could be giving them an out. So I am a little concerned about that. Yep, double monkey. All right. So where they're... Yeah, they can take out this Dwebble if they want to. I don't know if they will. No, they're going for it. Okay. And they're going to heal off this Dragapult as well. Which is actually kind of annoying. No? Yeah, because then we can't take this out very easily. Yeah, double monkey in the Dragapult list is annoyingly good. Now, that's a waste. Okay. Let's see where we can go from here. I don't think we can play... We can reasonably play... can we? Can we play a Dwebble right now? Or do we just try and wall? Here we go. I think we gotta take out the monkey here. We take out one of them. Yep. Now it's wall time. And say, bet, you are not... Is the Crustle wall gonna hold out? 160. If they hit 2 head... Oh, they're going for the Blaze. That's... What gets annoying here, right? And the Blaziken, like, the Blaziken's not going to be able to hit us. But there's so much damage on this Dragapult that they can keep moving stuff. And yeah, they're going to use that to power up the Monkey Dory. This sucks. This sucks. Now, how do we get out of this? Okay. We go Nest Ball, and I think we have to get another Dwebble. And let's just go see what else we have here. Arvin, Penny, Crispin, Colorless Tenacity. Is there any more Mist Energy? There's no more Mist Energy. It's all here, which is profoundly annoying. Oh, no, there's Mist Energy right here. Okay. I don't know if we want to put more damage on the board. Do we want to do that? And just swing in? I think we says, yeah, let's go with this. I think at some point we are going to penny away the Crustle. Although they can Monkey Dory to this one now. Poke Vital would be good, yes. Jamming Tower Monkey. Okay. There we go. I think they're going for the jet headbutt again. No. The Dragapult's not going to be able to hit. Yeah, Poke Vital and give up the Dwebble, or... If they find a jamming tower, we are cooked. If we... Arven for... I think we have one more turn for the Poke Vital. I think we got to get the Crustle set up. I'm going to go Ultra Ball, Luxurious Cape, and let's go get rid of... I don't want to get rid of Penny. I think I need the Penny. Oh, they just scoop. GG's. All right, we hold on. We hold on, and Josh P85 says he can't pick up Crustle, which is correct. Yeah, the pennies for the Iron Thorns. Yeah, our opponent there with the Dragapult, with the Blaziken, they probably could have... I think they could have played that out longer if they really wanted to. I think there was enough energy, there was enough damage on the board that they could have bided their time and just moved damage until they won. But our opponent did not want to play that type of game, and they decided that their time was more valuable than trying to deal with our annoying shenanigans, which I guess is good for us. That's kind of what we are looking for if we're playing this kind of trolley deck. So we'll take that win. GG's. There we go. That is a look at Crustle with Iron Thorns EX. And there are definitely people that are not going to want to play this type of deck. There are a number of people that don't want to fight against this type of deck, and that's okay. But there is space in the Pokemon TCG for these sort of walling strategies. Otherwise they wouldn't make these cards, and I think it's a good thing that there are multiple ways to play that aren't necessarily just put in a big EX and smash really hard over and over again for the win. So I do appreciate that there is variety in the gameplay and play styles, and Crustle is just another one, and the newest one, for trying to play the game and win in a different way. Again, this is a deck that has been bubbling under the radar in the online tournament scene for a minute now, and it's been seeing some pretty good results. So maybe give this one a shot if you're interested in this sort of walling archetype. But for now, I gotta get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at InThirdPerson. You can find me on Twitch at InThirdPerson, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website inthirdperson.com for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.